Hello and welcome back to Suspended Animation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for Harley Quinn, Season 3, Episode 9, Climax at Jazzapajizza. Yes, Jazzapajizza is a wrong title. But anyway, welcome everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you feel lucky or feel like gambling, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live again. So what you should do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media there and all the links to my pages as well. All right. With that said, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video. You can comment down below in the comment section, giving you enough time to hit pause, all that kind of good stuff. All right. So, of course, we have the climax that we've been building to for the last couple episodes here of Bruce Wayne resurrecting the dead using Frank by subverting Frank's powers to resurrect dead plants and instead resurrect dead humans. And he creates a zombie apocalypse in Gotham. But of course, Ivy decides to use this to her advantage and put her Eden plan into effect anyway. And she's able to go into the green and she can take over the zombies. And when they vomit, they're whatever they're vomiting out there, they actually create plant life. And that includes when they vomit on humans, they turn them into plants and whatnot. And so she decides to turn Gotham green in a way. Yeah, and Harley, in the meantime, ends up working with Nightwing and Batgirl to combat the zombies that are doing all of this, and becomes a good guy at this point. Yeah, she has switched sides officially to being a good guy, and that's what happens here. Um, Yeah, man. There's a lot of crazy shit that was going on. And also in the middle of all this, there is because remember there was the pandemic. They actually did have a well, I should say Gotham went through some restructuring and of course there's a lot of shit that went on. So they had a jazz concert that had been put off for 3 years, coincidentally. Not a pandemic, but stuff that was going on. So Mayor Joker, that's right, Mayor Joker, who's also done kind of a flip on being a good guy, bad guy thing there, has put on a Jazzapajizza, which is going on in Gotham Park at the same time the zombie apocalypse is happening. So yeah, all this shit's going down all at the same time. Um, and of course, Harley ends up sacrificing herself to basically prove a point to Ivy that what she's doing is wrong. And the only way that Ivy can save Harley, of course, is to undo all the damage that she's been doing. And so that's what she does. She basically reverses everything that happened, and uh, the zombies might be. Well, the zombies are gone now at this point. They've been reverted back to, yes, she did save Bane, but that was kind of inadvertent. I don't think she meant to save Bane. Really, she just meant to, she saw her moment to take, and it was right in front of Ivy there. So that was the reason why. Um, I'm going to say the best part of this episode was when King Shark is talking to Bruce and telling him that 30 years, man, you've been dealing with your parents' death for 30 years, and you haven't reached any kind of conclusion to it. You haven't reached any kind of healing to it. And he's not so much admonishing him for this, but he's saying you need to start healing, kind of thing. And Bruce was actually getting ready to kill his zombie parents once again. And King Shark ends up, no, let me do it. And he takes the shovel from him and he goes, you probably want to turn away and cover your ears. It's going to get loud and messy. Although I did love Damien's reaction to the whole thing. Um, Bruce introduces his zombie parents to his grandchild, to their grandchildren child, and Damien is just sitting there playing with a Game Boy kind of thing, and doesn't even look up, doesn't say anything at all, just kind of looks up and walks away. And then when Batgirl and Nightwing ask him, uh, is everything okay? And he shakes his head no, and just kind of walks into his room and takes off. Doesn't even help them. He's just going off and playing his video game. He's like, fuck this. Um, yeah, yeah, I have to agree with him on that one, because this is all Bruce is making. And that was the other thing too that was kind of brought up in this episode, which was good, is they're talking about as a family, as a Bat family, they've decided no killing. And then of course at one point when Ivy is just doing, she's going total megalomaniac, they're like, oh, we got to kill her. And Harley's like, what the fuck, man? You guys just said you don't have a killing policy. Like, well, sometimes we have to make exceptions. So yeah, that was kind of funny in a way. So a good episode. I mean, I have to admit, my favorite thing out of all of this was Frank. At one point, is we had Frank's like, hey, since you got control of all the zombies, make him do the Beyonce dance. And she goes, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. She goes, but I can make them do this. And she starts doing the Macarena. And he goes, fuck, girl, you need to get out more. That was my favorite line out of the entire thing. My favorite scene was that whole fuck, girl, you need to get out more. Hey Marks, how's it going? Well, that's what you have to do. You have to suffer through the ads, unfortunately. So a fun episode. Not the greatest of episodes that we've had. I think last week's episode is the best of episodes, all of the season so far, and it's mainly because it kind of hits at Bruce Wayne's trauma the best, and also in a way we haven't seen before, and does it kind of right. And it's not a hero villain thing, it's more of it's kind of like what the Batman the animated series used to deal with, was it dealt with the people instead of the conflict, if you will, on all of that. And that's actually kind of what's cool about that story. You get some story in there, you get some character building, things like that. And that's kind of what this series is good at. It's good at doing some character building and some resolution, on some stuff. Also, I have to admit, I like Dr. Psycho's thing about uh, what was it when he's talking about, I think, who did he say you need to get on the podcast? Now I just blanked on it. It was someone who was doing, I think it might have been no, it wasn't Harley, it was Bruce. It was Bruce. They needs to get Bruce on the podcast that he was doing. So yeah, it was pretty funny. So good episode. Looking forward to next week. And again, this is a good 1-2 punch with She-Hulk. So for Thursdays seems to be a really good comedy block of you got She-Hulk and you got Harley Quinn, and both are well written shows. Both are funny as fuck too. If you're not watching both shows, I can understand if you're having to choose, which streaming service you're going to pay for and stuff like that. Totally understandable. If I had to hazard it, right? Yeah, it's a tough call as to which one I'd have to side with on that one. I mean, Harley Quinn's got 3 seasons in. It's on its 3rd season here, and it's got a 4th coming up. And She-Hulk's only on its 1st season and may have a one and done, because of course sometimes these things just go into the MCU and don't have a 2nd season, which would be a shame. I would love to see more seasons of She-Hulk, especially in this kind of vein, of what they're doing. Man, that would be a tough decision. Yeah, Girls' Night is great. Shevening, the Thursday Shevening. So, with that said, what else do I have going on the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow is going to be Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. Now I got that right. Saturday, I'm going to be off. Sunday will be the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the weekend and your genre stuff you guys want to talk about. And we talk about it. Monday will be House of the Dragon. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? It's going to be the Disney Plus movie Pinocchio. Wednesday, I'll be off. And then we roll back around to Thursday to the shevening of She-Hulk and Harley Quinn. That's right, She-Hulk and Harley Quinn. So, with that said, I want to thank, everyone who joined me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. It's one of the videos of my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can't, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'll be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages as well. And I almost forgot to mention, so at the end of this season, the last episode of the season finale of season 3, I am going to be doing a contest. Dun, dun, dun. There'll be 4 winners. There's 4 different pins, so there'll be 4 winners on that. So that's, of course, the very last episode of the season. All right. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you, everyone. I will see you again tomorrow for Lord of the Rings of Power. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up forgetting to buy your ticket at Jazzapajizza because, well, it hasn't happened in 3 years because, some clown threw it off last year. But anyway, you never want to miss those flutists. Anyway, thanks everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care. Wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, get the boosters as well. They don't work without the boosters. And stay safe out there, everyone. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night and take care, everyone. Good night.